Hello and welcome back to One Shot's Fun Spots. I'm your host, Joe Boersma, and today we are joined by Carolyn Welch, who has some advice for the bridesmaids out there. Caroline, how you doing?
I'm so good, Joe. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. No, we're happy to have you. So you are an experienced bridesmaid, is that correct?
Yes, I was in 4 weddings last year, and
Wow.
the year before I was in 3, and I'm due to be in 2 more in 2025.
Okay, so 7, and then you have 2 more
2
schedules, so
more.
that'll be 9.
Mhm.
Wow.
It's
You,
hard to have a lot of friends, let me tell you, Joe.
oh, of course. Well, and going to so many weddings, I mean, that must be expensive, I guess,
Well, it's just the most important day of your best friend's life, so
for
you you
sure.
you gotta be there, you gotta support.
Your 9 best friends.
Well, yeah, you got your best friend from high school, your
Mm.
best friend from college, your best friend from diapers, your best friend from when you were living in that apartment down the street from where you grew up, but you weren't quite sure if you were ready to move to a new city, your best friend from when you were in your first job, your best friend from when you left that job, but then you met somebody on the street when you were carrying your box down to the next uh, parking lot where your car was, your best friend from your new job, your best friend from when you graduated college and you were a little sad, and your best friend who's your bartender.
That's all very helpful. Thank you so much for all that. I do want to highlight, though, you are saying best friend.
Hmm.
Best would imply that one is the best. It's a superlative.
Well, I believe that you can have multiple best friends, Joe,
Mhm.
because you want to make sure that everybody feels really special in your life.
Sure. Yeah, great, great. And then also you said a best friend during diapers.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's, I mean, babies, like you were an infant.
Well, I had trouble with potty
Oh, okay.
training.
I didn't mean to
No,
embarrass
it's
you or
okay.
anything.
I really want people to feel comfortable
Sure.
with with their development. So when I was young, I was potty trained, and then I got jealous of my cousin who was a newborn when I was 3, and I didn't like that I wasn't getting as much attention. So I reverted,
Mm.
and then I had to be potty trained again. So my diaper bestie is from when I was in preschool,
Yeah.
and she also had a potty training
I see. No, yeah.
issue.
Now I hear that's more common than people think.
Exactly. And like children don't know how to process their feelings in the same
Mm,
way as adults. And so we
right.
have to support them through those changes.
Well, and some adults too, if they don't.
Ah, you're so right, Joe.
But anyway, you didn't come here for advice about diapers. I mean, I'm glad that you did give us that. But
Of course.
we are here though to talk about advice you have for bridesmaids.
Yes, I have so many thoughts, Joe.
Okay. Well, I guess what's tip number one for when you're talking to a bridesmaid?
Oh my gosh. Well, tip number 1 is you're going to get a lot of useless crap when somebody asks you to be a bridesmaid. I can't tell you how many boxes of like mugs that say bridesmaid on them or uh, used hankies that have been embroidered with my name on them.
Used hankies?
Well, yeah, because you use them when you're wiping the tears in the wedding because you want to show
Uh-huh.
support for the crap that your friend has gotten
Right.
you. But then, like, what do you do with the hanky after it's embroidered?
Right. Okay, but you saying you received it? You didn't receive it used. You used it.
Right. I
Yeah.
used it and now I don't know what to do with it
I
because who
see.
uses hankies now?
I mean, that kind of stuff I think you could just throw away, right? Like, I mean, they're not going to check on all your
No.
stuff and like go, "Hey, where's my hanky I gave you? Where's the mug?"
No, because then like when they come into town and you're taking them to the beach and going to the lake, you can whip out your old bridesmaid
Uh-huh.
mug and go, "Oh my god, I love this so
So it's like a
much."
flex almost.
It's yeah, like you're the best of the best friends.
Wow. Okay, that's good to know. That's good advice. Okay, but this was the advice. Keep all the stuff.
Well, you have to get an apartment with a big enough closet so that you can store these things because you never know when the useless crap will become useful.
Mhm. Fair enough. I mean, I find that I just accumulate a lot of useless crap anyway. Like I'm getting like from other things, not just weddings. So you're saying ditch all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Only use the closet space for wedding crap.
100%. No need for new pants when you have a new set of cutlery
Mhm.
from when you were a bridesmaid in Boca Raton.
For sure. And you only need one pants anyway.
Right. Exactly. That's what we have laundry machines for.
Exactly. Okay, great. Okay, so that's number one. Keep all the wedding crap.
Hmm.
I guess anything else we should know about being a bridesmaid?
I think that you should know that you are never going to be able to stick to your budget because
Okay.
one day Carol is going to be like, oh my God, we're just going to do a low key bachelorette. And then suddenly you're going to Miami and you're renting a giant Airbnb with 2 swimming pools, 3 hot tubs, and you're, you know, having to go to every single club and paying for every single Uber.
Hmm.
And now it's all on Caroline because it's just, you can't say no because it's not your special day, it's their special day. So just be prepared to never have a budget ever.
Yeah. I'm hearing a little bit of resentment in there. Is that
No,
okay?
Joe, it's totally fine.
Sure.
It's great actually because it's my best friend's special day where they get to marry their new best friend.
Uh-huh.
It's totally fine. It's totally great.
Okay, that sounded like you're a little maybe jealous of
No.
losing some of the attention. I mean, this kind of goes back to the diaper thing. You're losing some of the attention, so you want to get it back.
No, it's like it's all good because we learn how to share.
Hmm.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that they found somebody that they want to spend their life with,
Hmm.
They don't need, this silly little cocktails on a Wednesday at happy hour. They have cuddles under a blanket in your jammies at
Hmm.
the same time. Like it's totally cool. It just changes. We're just in different
Yeah.
stages. It's fine.
Well, those little cocktails, though, for you, that's quality time
Yeah.
you're losing to this other.
Well, that's why we have 9 best friends, Joe, because then
Right.
we can have people who are in different stages of life and learn from new friends.
Yeah.
I love new friends are great. Like we're new friends, Joe.
Oh, great. Good. Cool.
We could
Yeah.
we could maybe I don't know,
Yeah.
like hang out outside of the recording studio.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, we're getting into an area though because
Oh.
you just listed nine best friends.
Well, you could be my 10th best
I
friend,
know
Joe.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is I'm not looking for a best friend. Like I have a
Oh.
best friend.
Me.
Well, no. I have previously before I met you. I had a best friend, and he's probably gonna stay my best friend.
Well, you
I mean,
can have more than one best friend.
No, but that's okay. But I still, you didn't convince me. I think best is one. You can only have one best.
What
of
if
anything?
What if your other best friend was your best guy friend and
Mhm.
I could be your best girlfriend?
You know, in theory, I agree with you. But I also have a best female friend that I've known
Ah.
since high school, and we went to high school and college together.
Wow.
We've known each other for a long time. So I mean, like, hey, we can be friends, and
But
we
not
can
best
we can be
friends.
good friends even if we get there. And the other thing is, this is very fast. I don't want to call you best, even if I didn't have a best friend. You couldn't jump to best for this fast.
Joe, I was very vulnerable with you about my potty training issues. And I feel like you're not validating how vulnerable I've been with you.
Okay, but like you can be like that around anybody. And I know you chose me, and I'm glad about that. But I'm saying, like, that's not the kind of thing that makes a best friend, in my opinion. Like, you have to. It takes time. It takes work.
But you seem so trustworthy. And so I felt like we could build that trust by,
Uh-huh.
sharing our deepest, darkest secrets.
We can keep building that trust, and then maybe one day we'll get to friends, and then we'll get to good friends, and maybe through a lot of time and hanging out and hard work, we can get to best friends.
Wait, we're not even friends?
You can't. I would argue you can't become friends. You can be fast friends, but that's rare.
I thought that's what was happening right
Uh-huh.
now.
I mean, okay, we've taken a turn and making it harder to be friends. I will
What?
admit,
Oh,
because it's all. This is a little. Okay.
I can pull it together. I can pull
Let's
it together,
refresh.
Joe.
Let's refresh.
Starting over.
Do you have any more? Do you have another piece of advice for those bridesmaids out there?
Oh, for bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Well, what I would say is if you're thinking about keeping to the color palette that has been given to you by the bride,
Right.
scrap it if it's not a color that works with your skin tone or like
Uh-huh.
something that you just don't like to have in your closet because you're going to have to pay for that thing. And like, you should just wear whatever you want.
Yeah. And has that worked out for you?
Oh, yeah. I'm like a little pop of color.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, did that injure perhaps the relationship with the bride. I mean, she probably picked that color out on purpose with a lot of intention and to go with other things at the wedding, and then you kind of disregarded that.
Yeah, but like I'm not wearing white, so it's
Uh,
fine. It's like not a complete faux pas. Like maybe I have to stand on the end of all of the photos,
mhm.
but like that's okay. Like I'm still there and I'm still adding a little shimmer.
Right. Do you remember the color that was this disagreement, and what did you wear?
Ugh, well, I there was a year where everybody was doing sage green, and I was
Mm,
so tired of sage green that I did bubblegum pink instead. And it kind of went with the floral
mm,
anyway. So like it was fine. Like I made sure that I went to the floral appointment with my friend, my best friend. Um
yes.
and I made sure that I was like at least part of the palette. It just wasn't the palette that she gave for us to get dresses.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you kind of made it look like kind of watermelon colored instead of this green that she was going for.
And like, how lovely is watermelon? Everybody loves watermelon in the
It's the
summertime.
best of the melons, I would
I
say.
agree with you, Joe. See, this is why we should be best
Yeah.
friends.
Wait, okay. If we have to, let's
I'm
let's
sorry, we
not.
can get back to the bridesmaid advice. You're so right. You're
No,
so right.
it look, as a person who, you know,
Is my best friend.
were I was that's not what I was going to say.
What were you going to say, Joe?
I was going to say, if I'm looking for a friend,
Mm-hmm.
if I bring you over for an interview,
Mm-hmm.
let's do the interview, and maybe let's not dip into this kind of friend stuff, and then the interview will be really good, and then I'll be really happy.
Oh my God, I would love to make you happy,
Well,
Joe.
I mean, and that would be breed good friendship, material. And if there's
Okay.
anything I can do for you, you let me know.
Yeah, can I have a cup of water?
Yeah, for sure, of course. Vitamin, water for her, please. He's getting it. Yeah,
Amazing.
great. Anyway, so okay, so you that was 3 bits of advice. Those are all very solid. I am curious though. Have you ever? I don't know if you can hear. He's filling it up. That tap water is very clear. It's filtered actually.
That's
So
so wonderful.
yeah,
Thank
good. You're
you.
welcome, of course. Um, good boy.
Thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
That was very kind of him. Um, but I was curious. Have you heard the term? And if this offends you, I'm so sorry. But and if it hits on a tender spot, we can work through it. But
Mhm.
have you ever heard the phrase "always a bridesmaid, never a bride"?
Ugh, Joe, I wear it as a badge of honor
Oh, interesting.
because I love being there for my friends. My
Hmm.
calendar is so full with showers and back parties and weddings that, like, who has time to think about yourself when you have all these wonderful friends around you that you get to celebrate?
Yeah. So there's no jealousy for like you wish you were the bride.
I mean, look, it's not that I'm jealous, it's
Hmm.
that I'm waiting my turn, you know?
Yeah.
And like it would be nice if somebody would put me at a table with some like single groomsmen or like
Mm.
I don't know, the groom's cousin or your cousin even. Like I'm so fun to talk to, right,
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so convincing. And I really feel like I don't know why my friends aren't like introducing me to people at these things because I'm like spending
Yeah.
all of my time
Right.
trying to make their day like really special.
Yeah.
And I wish that they would maybe consider what would make the day special for me, you
Right.
know? Like, and then they get to, on my day, they get to be like, oh, and I introduced Caroline to her husband.
Hmm.
And like, that would be really cool. But
Yeah.
no, that's not
No,
what's
that's too
happening.
bad. So where do you end up sitting?
Oh, I end up sitting at the table right next to the door of the kitchen. I usually get whacked by the
Oh,
door or like by
yikes.
a tray as they're serving dinner. Or at my last wedding last year, a whole tray of masticholi got dumped down my back on
Oh,
accident.
that's
The
so
waiter fell.
messy.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But you know how I feel about sage green. It was one of those sage green weddings,
Right.
so it was fine. I wasn't sad for that dress to get trashed.
Okay. Okay, but this was when you wore a sage green dress too.
Yeah, because I'm tired of the sage green. That's why I got the extra dress because I
Right.
had worn so much sage green. I needed something new in my closet.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I also had this thought too. I mean, have you always been, I don't want to say just a bridesmaid, but have you ever been the maid of honor at one of these?
Yes. Remember the best friend from high school?
Yes.
Yeah, I was her maid of honor, but she also had a matron of honor because her sister
Oh, yeah.
was also honored in that way. So we co-led it.
Awesome. And what didn't you I guess helped plan maybe the
Hmm.
bachelorette party, maybe had some input on the wedding?
Absolutely.
Well, how did that go? What bits did you offer there?
Oh, well, we went down to Nashville. Woohoo!
Nice. Fun.
And I got us tickets to the Ryman Auditorium, which was very
The
cool.
sorry, the what
The
auditorium?
Ryman,
Ryman.
it's
Okay.
this like really cool country venue, very historical, very very neat to be in that space. And then afterwards, we did like have you ever seen those bikes that go through and they have a cooler on in the middle and you're drinking and you're driving through the city while cycling?
No, never.
Oh my god, Joe, we have to do
I
that this summer.
In Nashville?
Well, we could see if they have one here, but like they have them in Nashville. I've seen
Mhm.
them in Champaign, Illinois,
Okay.
because we've got to keep the good times rolling.
Indeed.
And so they're really fun. You get like 12 of your best friends and
Mhm.
you get on this little bike and you pedal along the way. And this big cooler, and you get to there's also an adult supervisor who is
Mhm.
not drinking and then
Ah,
steers you through. But there's like an awning over it. It's a real delight.
fascinating. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like fun. I'd like, yeah, if we
Yeah.
can find one. I kind of don't want to I kind of don't want to travel for it though. If we can't find it here, we could do something else.
Oh, you don't want to do a road trip?
I
We don't want to go explore another city together like best friends do?
um maybe eventually. Let's first do something here in Chicago locally that
Okay.
isn't so much of a commitment because I mean, look, I would be very excited to be a friend of yours, but if we're on
I
a
thought we were
road
already
trip,
friends.
we're getting there.
Okay.
We need to both have
All right.
us have maybe a little patience because here's what I'm saying is that if we go on a road trip and we're going to have to, spend now a couple probably days together, we
It'll
want
be
to
so
be
fun.
we want to be sure that we're going to, get along for the whole time.
Well, we're getting along so well right now, Joe.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, we just it's very fast. It's just very fast for me to make a friend, okay? Like
All right. All right.
I just don't. Let's take our time.
Okay. I understand. I just, you know, I have 9 best friends and they all just gotten really busy with marriage
Mhm.
and buying houses and moving away, and I'm having a really hard time with being there for them in all of their really exciting times,
Yeah,
and then feeling like I'm left behind, you know? So
yeah,
I'm trying to expand my circles.
that's good. That's
Thank
good.
you.
You know what's good for that though? I mean, you can take up like classes at a place and maybe make friends that way, or like you take up like pottery and you're in a pottery class with a bunch of
Oh,
people.
that's dirty.
That's dirty.
It's dirty. I don't want to get dirt under my
Well, that's just an
nails.
example. I mean, you could do anything. You could be rock climbing at a rock climbing gym, or like,
Too sweaty.
okay, okay. I mean, these are just examples. So you can do the thing you like to do and just do a class of that.
Well, I like to have a martini after work on a Wednesday with some
What
fries.
about what if there's like a I'm forgetting the word, but like the when you make drinks, mixology class.
They teach that?
They teach that.
Oh my god, I thought I had to like make a best friend who's a bartender so that I could like have things.
So you think the knowledge of how to mix drinks is only passed from mixologist to mixologist, not through
Yes.
classes?
I didn't realize that I could do that on my own.
Yeah, well, and then that's how people become mixologists. I mean, you don't have to become one. I'm just saying that's like that could be a cool hobby, and you meet people.
Well, I met you. Do you want to come?
Uh I'm a busy
What?
guy. I'm a
J-
busy guy. And here's the thing: if we became friends,
When we become friends.
if and when we become friends,
When we
I'm
become
kind of a
friends.
busy guy, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna leave you behind like your other friends have.
Joe, you would never do that to me.
I wouldn't mean to, but I might be really busy and not have time for you. Is the fear that I have. That's all I'm saying. And like, I mean, I think we have to take on that risk.
Wait, thank you for being vulnerable with me. That was so big.
Was that vulnerable? I feel like I'm just trying to level with you
You
here.
shared a fear with me. That's
Oh,
so nice.
sure. Do you want more fears? Does that help with
Oh
that
my
be?
god, that would be so like I'm scared of centipedes crawling on me in the night when I'm sleeping.
Wow. Centipedes in particular, not other bugs?
Centipedes mostly,
Mhm.
and it's mostly because I had a spider come down from my ceiling the
Right.
other day, and I woke up and there was a spider hanging just a few inches away from my nose,
Uh-huh.
and then I thought, "What if there was something with more legs?"
I see. Yeah, that's scary. And I
It's
hear
really
you.
scary.
Yeah. And what would it wouldn't the legs though don't really do anything. It's the actual creature that, could hurt you or do something to you.
I just don't like the feeling of when you have, like, hair that is on your face in a
Uh,
weird spot that isn't where it normally is?
yeah, yeah.
That's how I imagine a centipede on my face would feel, but it's,
Uh,
like, crawling, and I don't even know that it's, like, a
yeah.
creepy crawly and not hair that's on top of my head. Like, what if I moved that centipede to the top of my head and
Right.
then it made a nest in my
But
hair?
why okay, oh, cuz you would think it was a hair, you would just move it to your head.
Right, and then suddenly there's a centipede making a nest in my hair, and suddenly I'm the centipede lady.
Uh-huh.
What do I do if I become the centipede lady,
Well, it
Joe?
doesn't have to be you just wash your hair. You don't have to become it doesn't have to be part of your identity.
But, like, I don't wash my hair every day. Are you kidding?
Okay, but even if you did it every other day, it's going to wash out whatever it worked on. I'm not okay, I don't mean to negate your fear. This is a fear that you have.
Thank you,
I
Joe.
get that. You're welcome. But I wouldn't worry about that if I were you.
I don't know. I worry about it every night since Tuesday when the
Uh,
spider came.
I see.
It's
Great.
been a 3 whole days of worrying, Joe.
I'll go.
Please
I'll
do.
go. I mean I'm afraid of bats.
Oh my gosh, because they might be vampires?
No, because they're have a lot of zoological diseases that you can get. And so that therefore they're if you get in contact with one, you really should be careful and not touch it.
Oh my gosh, but what if it's a vampire and you could fall in love? It'd be like Twilight.
And that's something to be afraid of? Are you saying that I shouldn't be afraid?
Well, I think it's both because, like, love is really big and scary, and, like, if
Mhm.
you fall in love, then, like, what if you're with that person for the rest of your life, and then you have nobody else to talk to for the rest of your life because you're only with that person, and now you're stuck, and then what if you're unhappy, and then what if love isn't enough, and so then you're with this vampire for the rest of their thousands and thousands of years of life.
May I posit that that's your real fear? That's a fear you have. It sounds like you maybe projected that onto me there.
I don't think so.
You, I think so. I think you're
Oh.
kind of wrapping all the like fear of abandonment and fear of commitment all kind of in there with the vampire there.
I don't know about that.
All right. Well,
I just I think I just need to do friends, okay? Like, I think I just need you to be my best friend.
uh, that's so much. That's so much. That's a lot of pressure, honestly. Like,
But you're so good at it, Joe. Like, you just figured out a fear of mine without me even knowing I had that
okay,
fear.
well, have you also maybe I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but have you considered therapy? Like a therapist does that.
Oh, my mom's a therapist, and I can't be psychologically evaluated every day for the rest of my life. It's
You,
just too
why would
much.
every day? You don't have to go to a therapist every day. You go once a week or once a month or something.
I get that on a phone call once a week with my mom where she told me
Oh,
about all the things that I'm doing wrong with my life and how I need to like get back out
that
there
doesn't
and
count. That doesn't count as your therapist though. Like that's a mother-daughter relationship. You should find a therapist who has like distance from you and is only there to therapize.
could my therapist be my new best friend?
Definitely not. Like
Oh.
that's very unhealthy. You don't want that
Oh,
at
well then
all.
why would I get a therapist if she's not going to be my
So
best
then you
friend?
can air out, you can find these fears and you can grow and kind of, attack them and build your life around that and all that.
Mm,
Yeah.
I think I prefer to build my life around somebody else's wedding so that I can like wear a pretty dress and like.
But then I'm sorry. Then they're gonna leave you, right? They're gonna get married and they're gonna have spent all their time with someone else.
But what if they don't? What if they spend some time with their spouse and some time with me? What if this is the one time it changes?
It how why would it be different? You've gone through this 9 times.
Yeah, and like what if the 10th is the time that my friend stays the same?
It, you're saying what if? Like you should find something reliable. You should again, I'm giving you very good examples. You should go to classes, meet friends who maybe a group of friends, right? That they're all together and like that's and then you go to a therapist so that you can learn about yourself. You're chasing the same thing over and over again and you're setting yourself up for failure is what I'm afraid of.
I guess maybe you're right. But I guess what I'd like to say is that I don't really want to change.
Uh, yeah. Well,
I want to have a box full of crap to
huh.
remember my friends by. Like little mementos of what once was. And I want to be there to celebrate them. And I want to be covered in pasta sauce because some silly
Mhm.
waiter tripped and now I'm a mess and it's just a funny story that they'll remember me by forever. Even if I never see them again, at least they'll remember the pasta sauce girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be a fixture in your memory if I'm not going to be there forever.
I hear the words you're saying. I don't know why anyone would want that. I don't know what you think anyone what why what no, I don't understand what you're talking about. Why would you want that? That's so sad and strange.
Cuz you see, I'm just trying to be memorable, you know? And I feel like what happens is I'm more forgettable
Hmm,
than anything, which is why I wanted to come onto your podcast, you know? Cuz then at least that I leave my mark and I can help other people through what's really a tough thing, you know? Like being a bridesmaid is hard work.
sure.
And if you can find a way to make yourself stand out and be memorable and have fun in this experience, then all the better, you know? I want people to feel like they don't have to just be another bridesmaid.
Hmm.
They can be they can be the girl who ruined the color palette. They can be the girl who doesn't mind sitting next to the kitchen because maybe they'll slip you a couple extra olives for your martini. You know, I just I want other girls to feel like they're not alone and feeling a little lonely at a wedding, but still having a great time.
Good. Uh
Did that make any sense? I feel like I
no,
rambled.
no, no, you made sense. You want to leave a mark. You want to be remembered.
Yeah.
Um and I think there's a lot of people listening who can take some of that advice. Uh, I'm gonna put it out there right now though, and I'm sorry I have to do this on air, but I think to I have to kind of leave it with your mark you've left. I don't want to be your friend.
What do you mean, Joe?
I
You want to
like
be my best friend?
no, I don't want to be.
You
I
want
want
to
to
be
remain
bestest,
acquaintances, and
bestest
I
friends
want to
forever?
remain, a professional. And this, maybe saying this is not professional, but I would like to remain like professional acquaintances because, again, the mark you've left on me is kind of a strange, uncomfortable, frightening mark on my psyche. And
Vampire
yeah,
loving.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's not actually that's actually pretty normal. That a lot of people are like that, I
Oh,
think. But yeah, I don't get you. We really don't have that much in common, so we're not friends.
but we're best
What we're
friends.
Yeah, okay, you're in denial, and that's okay. This has been One Shots Fun Spots. I'm your host, Joe Boersma, signing off with a signature you can see from space.
Besties for the resties.